Following an autopsy that was completed this morning by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the suspicious death involving a body that was found in Deerfoot Athletic Park yesterday has been ruled a homicide. At approximately 10:35 yesterday, we were called to the Deerfoot Athletic Park located at 1616 8th Avenue Northeast for reports that a citizen had located a body. Upon arrival, officers located the deceased individual. Today, that victim has been identified as Judy MAERZ, 58 years old, of Calgary. Our detectives are asking anyone that may have been in the park yesterday or who knows Judy MAERZ to come forward so that we can determine her activities in the last 24 hours. Additionally, anybody who was driving along Deerfoot Avenue yesterday morning between the hours of 4:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. to come forward that may have captured any suspicious activity that was happening in that area. We're currently interviewing friends and associates of Ms. MAERZ in order to determine what and who she may have been in contact with over the last 24 hours. This was a horrific offense that occurred in a public area, and we're seeking any information from the public that may be able to come forward. At this point, we won't be releasing any details surrounding the cause of death, but I'm open to any questions.
Do we know where she died?
Right now, we believe, and we're investigating, we only have this one location that we're investigating as where we believe she was killed.
So the homicide would have taken place there as opposed to somebody having transported her?
We're not ruling that there may have been a transport, but right now all information leads to that scene.
I know yesterday you guys were looking at sort of a large area of time, 4:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Have you been able to narrow down a timeline from there at all?
We're still working at narrowing that down, but we don't want to collapse it too soon right now, especially with the activity on Deerfoot. People driving by, we don't know when the event may have began.
Does she have family in town? Or?
Yes, we've spoken to her adult children and notified them of this incident.
What exactly are you guys maybe looking for that maybe somebody might see when they're driven by a Deerfoot trail?
There was a fire that was committed in the park at that time, so there may have been smoke, something that caught somebody's attention. We believe that there was a fire that was set in an attempt to cover up evidence. Anything that may be associated with fire or anything that looks suspicious or may have tweaked somebody's curiosity, something just didn't look right during that time period, we want to talk to that. And in addition, like I mentioned, now that we know and have identified Ms. MAERZ, anybody that may have spoken to her recently can identify associates or conversations he's had in the past few weeks. We want to hear from those people.
Does she have, do you know, any connection to that park? Would it be a place she frequented, walked the dog, that kind of thing?
Not that we know of at this time.
Was it a targeted attack at all?
We don't know the motive behind that at this point. We're exploring all our options.
Did you have any contact with her before this?
Pardon?
Did you have any contact with her before this incident?
Nothing
City
recent.
police?
No recent contact.
The park itself is, I mean, it's visible from a lot of areas, right?
Yeah.
Deerfoot on the west, you've got those houses on the ridge overlooking that alley. It seems an odd place to have committed this kind of crime and have nobody see anything.
100%. Yeah, it's wide open in one sense where there's not a lot of trees in there. It's kind of isolated in the way that you can get into that area with one long road getting in there, but you're correct, yeah. And we're still canvassing and talking to people, so hopefully with, identification of the victim, and maybe there's other people that can provide some more context of what may have been happening in the last few days.
Is there any background you can give us on the victim's lifestyle that may lead her to be to this
Not at
happening?
this point, no.
No?
We're exploring everything, looking into it, but right now this is just a really horrific crime, and we're working on the details. It's still very early in the investigation, and now we're trying to work that timeline back.
Do you have like a list of suspects at this point or anything like that?
Those are details I can't release at this point.
Was the victim wearing any particular type of clothing that might help the public to come forward with any details to assist in the investigation?
As I mentioned, there was a fire that was set, which I think may have destroyed some of that, so no details that I can provide right now.
Do you know if the area is used by dog walkers or anything like that, or is it just kind of more?
Yeah, I think it's frequented a lot by dog walkers, and the citizen that contacted us, I believe, was out walking their dog in the morning.
Forgive me, did you mention if the victim was from Calgary?
From
or
Calgary.
From, okay, so.
Yeah.
I know yesterday the collision reconstruction unit was at the park.
Mhm.
Is that in any related to this at all, or is it just a unit that was available?
We did utilize them because of that big, large space in there. We had our traffic recon unit out with a drone to cover over that large scene. So,
Can you just describe where she was found for people who weren't at the scene?
yeah, there's a parking lot at the end of that road into that athletic park, very close to that parking lot.
Any other questions?
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.